Hi, and welcome to Design It with Tammy Gibbs. I'm Tammy, and today we're going to be working inside Artistly 5, and we are going to be working inside the Fast AI Designer and trying out a couple of different ways that you can make very interesting word art and letter art. So, we're going to pop into my personal designs, and I'm just going to show you some of the original um, work that I did just in testing for this. And we'll go all the way back to, I believe it was this image. Yeah. So I started with this image, and it's a lovely letter art. And then I decided I wanted to sort of create an alphabet. So what I did was I worked all the way through, and it basically got the letter changed out to a green one instead of this one, because this one was a little bit, if you can see, it had kind of a wash, so it was a little bit lighter, which I still do like that, but I did change out the letter to the green. And then I worked all the way through just creating from from here. And what I did was try to do the alphabet. So I ran into a problem with the letter I. For some reason, it did not want to do the letter I. So I sort of did a workaround. So what I did was I went in and had it remove this design here, and separate the letter. And I use the human stylizer to do that. So let's pop into Canva, and I'll show you what I was able to accomplish by doing that. So this is going to be like one method of doing the letters. So when you get a design that you like, that you think you can then implement through the alphabet, and if you even want to make it work, say, a little bit quicker, this is how you could do it. So let's just say that you went in and you created an alphabet. Um, let's just say, that you duplicate your page. Okay. And then you go in, and of course your C is going to be in the back, so you want this to be a D. So you choose the font you want to work with. You work with that, and then you just basically will change out and have all your letters. Okay, so this is where you can make it go faster. So let's just say you set up one file that you go in, and you um, you duplicate this page, so you can do Control D. Sorry, Control D. You're supposed to be able to do Control D. Let's see. Oh, okay. So Control D. I don't know why that's not working. So let's see. There we go. Give me a second. Let me plug up the computer. This has just been one of those mornings where not everything's working out just the way it should to do the video, but we're okay. We're going to work through it. Okay. Let me get all set back up here, and then we'll go back. Okay, so we've got two. So you're going to want to create that page. Lots of pages. Okay. Then what you're going to want to do is do your whole alphabet. D, and make sure you've got it capitalized. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to kind of show you. Okay, so we're going to work through this way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to copy the top layer, and then we're just going to lay it over the top. We may have to do a little adjustment, but you shouldn't have to do a lot of adjustment with it. And then you can work through and very quickly do this. Okay, so what I would do, how I would set it up is I would go ahead and originally come up with a brand template. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to go over into Canva again. I'm just going to start with a fresh one. We're going to go into my custom size, choose the 2500 by 2500. And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy. Sorry. We're going to copy this letter here. Or another way that you could do it is you could go over here to projects, go into this design. That's the wrong design. There's 25 page. This is not showing all of them. So we're just going to copy it. But you could go in and just pull them that way. So we're going to copy this letter. And it can be any letter, just maybe I would start with one that you think that you'll actually use, like a font that you actually will use. And then what you're going to want to do is go in and do your whole alphabet, basically. So you're going to want to do like we did before. Go into here, do Control D. Control D. And what you have to do is you have to lift your finger up. You can't just leave it on Control. So you have to go back and another way to do this that would probably be a lot faster is just to change the orientation and just do it like this. Duplicate, duplicate. I think that's the faster way to do it. So you would just fill this page with however many let's do a quick Google because my brain cannot. How many letters in the alphabet? 26. Okay. Don't laugh at me for having to do that. So we need 26 pages. We're just going to duplicate until we have 26. Okay. So now we have our alphabet, and now we can change the way we're looking at it here. And we're going to go back and then change out our letters from the beginning. So we'll have our A. B. And you see this is not going to take long. Okay, so you see it didn't take very long at all. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to save this as a brand template. That way we've done one little bit of work, and then we're going to be able to make multiple bazillion different kinds of alphabets by changing the font, by changing the decorative items, by changing the color. But our alphabet is already here, so we're just going to go to see all, up here to brand template. Now, before we do that, we're going to actually name it as our base alphabet template. Okay. So then we're going to go see all brand template. We're going to go into listing brand. Let's change it and make a new folder that says product templates. And we'll put this under that folder, product templates. And then we're going to publish it and close. And then it's going to give us the option to open that template back up. That's what we're going to do. Use this brand template. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back over to this one that I had created originally. And I'm going to grab the floral embellishment and go back over here. So now we're just going to start, and we can do a couple of things. We can drag it, how we want it on there and size it. Then we can go over here, do the same thing. Just add the floral all the way along. Okay, so what else we can do is we can, if we want to change the color, now we have the whole color scheme that has been pulled in for that kind of goes with, sorry, I selected the wrong thing, so we're going to go back. And, okay, we need to be here. And then we can go down and select if we want it to. We could even change all if we wanted to. And it would change all of our different ones. And now we can have a pink one. So how is that cool? Okay, so we create this one alphabet. Now it's going to have the pink. So we're going to go back and, copy our floral. We're going to go through, and I'm just showing you how quickly this can come together, just like this. Paste. And you may want to, you can adjust if you want to. I'm not. But you can kind of adjust it if you need to. Some of them you probably will need to. But this is the way that you can very easily deal with creating this little matching. And you can even, if you needed to adjust the size a little bit, you could do that to fit your letter. I mean, it is the letter, but anyway, you will tweak it to your needs. I'm just kind of showing you how quickly it can work up. To be honest, I might with this little piece right here, I might would just erase it in the very beginning and then not have it carry over, because it's the one that seems to be a little bit off. And you don't really need it to have a really pretty design. But see how fast that is once you get going. And then it's going to be even faster, because then you can actually go in, and I'm going to show you what I would do to create. Because once you get a pretty design, you may want to, and I don't know what I just did. Let's see. Paste. Oops. Let's see what I got going on here. Okay. Copy. There we go. Just finishing up. So we're talking about literally, this could be very easily a maybe 30-minute project once you get it done the first time. Once you create your base alphabet, then it's gonna work up extremely fast for you to do these products. And let's just talk while I'm doing this. Let's talk about how you could use this, and like what products you would sell. So these would be beautiful to do a collection of book plates. You could do the initials on bookmarks. I mean, anything that you could do a monogram or whatever on. These would even be really pretty to be accents on like a wedding invitation. Like if you wanted to do a pretty floral um, initial for the couple that's getting married or whatever, for a wedding invitation. Let's see, wall art, doing a little thing and then putting the name of the child or the person up under it. Note cards, stationery. There's so many things you can use the lettering for. Okay, so we've done our whole entire alphabet. So now what can we do? Okay, so what I would do is you can then, one of two things. If you think you're going to be using the design like this design, I would make another brand template. So let's just say you may want to go in and do some adjustments. So let's just make this one, this whole alphabet now, where it's created. So we want to be able to use it and change without damaging this one or having to make a copy. So let's make this one a brand template as well. And we will also save it under, and we can say this isn't the base template. This is going to be floral pink. Floral pink. And then we're going to put it in that product template folder and publish it. Okay, so now it's going to come up and it's going to give us again the option to use this brand template. Now this is not going to damage our original, will still be there, so we can still make it into a whole product for whatever. And when you think about it, that each one of these individual letters are now a product, so you could do a whole line of things with the letter A in this color combination and everything. So now let's go in. And what we're going to do is we're going to just slide this over, select our letter, and then we're going to go into the colors. So let's say we decide we want to pull out this letter, this color. We can change all of them, and in just a few seconds, we now have an entirely different product with the different color. Okay. So now we've created this one with the hot pink, and we can now, rather than do, well, I would go ahead and save the hot pink, because that's gonna, I would do this one as a brand template as well, because we may want to go in and do something different with it, but we may want to keep all the flowers. We may want to keep the colors. We might want to do away with the flowers and put a different design over the pink. There's so many different things we may want to do, so let's just go ahead and save it as a and then this one we're going to do, this one is a hot pink. So we're going to take this off and put hot pink. Okay. And then we're going to save it as a product template, add, publish. Okay. So now it's going to give us the option again that we can use this brand template again. And this time, instead of changing the color, we're going to go back in. We're going to move this over just so we can get to our letter. And now we're going to play with some fonts. So let's play with looking for another font that we think we might like to use. So this one is copper. Let's play with, and I don't know why that it changed the capital letter. Oh, I guess that may be the, let's, we don't want to change all. We want to look at that. Okay, so I'm not sure why that changed. Oh, I know. Nope. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we're gonna just look and see how that looks. Okay, that would be pretty. Let's try some other fonts. Okay. All right. That one wouldn't work. That one probably would. That one probably would. And you only want to use the, I don't know, apricots. No. No. Those are all thick. Now, these are the ones with the crowns. You wouldn't want to use those in a product. You want to look for free ones. So let's see. That one might be cute. This one. No, that one I think would work pretty. So now let's pull this over. See, now that one would look pretty. So then you would have to go, the best way to change the actual alphabet, honestly, would be to change it in the original and then put the flowers back over it. Because otherwise what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to remove this or move this on every single one. Whereas it would work up a lot faster if you were just in your base alphabet here. If you were just using your base alphabet. So you could change the font a lot easier here. So you could just select the and see it would change all of them. So you could go to this one and then change all. And then all of them will be changed. So now we have this one. If you change a font from your base, make it a brand template. So then you can just use it to create a whole new alphabet without having to do all that again. So search folder, product templates, and this is going to be Baskerville. These you can just kind of name by the font and then publish, search folder, product templates, and add. So you see, I basically created these for my own use, kind of as we're working. And now all I'd have to do is pull up this base template and create the new design and go from there. Okay, so we're back to this one. Okay, so now let me show you some things that you can do Okay, so we're going to select all of this and we're going to group it. And actually, no, we're not. We're going to select the floral and do edit. And then I'm going to show you how you can go even further. Okay, so we have our basic colors, but then we can also experiment with different filters just to see if there's anything else that we really like. And there may not be, you know, but it is a way that you can experiment on things. See, I don't really like any of those, but you can try different ones. Now, this one's pretty, the Belvedere, the Flint. Those are all interesting. I don't know that they're any prettier than the original, but it just goes to show you when you start getting into some of these, you start kind of losing the beauty of it. And it would probably be, now this is kind of pretty just with the red. So be sure and always work towards this making things easier for you, and then also making them, and then just to go back, let's go back and make it to the none. Okay. So basically, I've built multiple products just right here in front of you, just in a few minutes. So now let's go back into Artistly. Let's go back into how it happens and how we can do it. Like I said, that was kind of my original how I did it. I removed this. So let's pick out another one and I'll walk you through removing it. This one. This is just gorgeous to me. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in here to the human stylizer. We're going to find that one. And let's see where it's at. Because that's a really pretty design. This one. And I'm going to show you really quickly just how that works in practice. So we're going to remove the bee. And I think a lot of people, because AI art is so cool, we've gotten really bogged down to using, let me download this. Okay. So we've gotten really super bogged down into how we're going to do AI. Let me explain. Okay. Get my head wrapped around it. So we want the AI to do all of the work. Whereas right now, it can, in certain circumstances, it can create some great images. But if we look beyond that into breaking it down into the elements and then using them, it can still speed our process just by so much as far as time savings. But it also can give us such better products if we look beyond just what it can do all at one time. So if it can't get the name right every time, or if it can't get, in one designer, the text is wrong, move to a different designer, think outside the box to troubleshoot your issues, because it is still amazing what it can do. And even though it can't do all that we imagine right at this moment, that doesn't mean it's not going to get there. But until then, that allows us to we're still human. We are still the basis for the art, because a computer did not come up with artistic things in the beginning. The human brain did, the human imagination did, and we don't need to lose sight ourselves as AI artists and as digital product creators in that human element that makes art art. Okay, so got off on that, but I do think it's important for us to keep those, keep that. So anyway, so we're back into this copy here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload now what I just saved right here. And then let's just work through this with this different design. And of course, we're going to have to remove the background. And of course, that's so lovely. Okay, so now what we do is we would copy the floral and then we would work right through it again, just like this. And like I said, we may have to work with the placement of it the first time. It's not a problem because you're not having to do this. You're not having to redo them each time. It still makes it a lot faster for you to create. And this is just a lovely design. I do believe, just honestly, rather than going in each single time, if you work with these templates, like I'm doing, it's going to be a faster process than you trying to go in and prompt that the stylizer to give you the correct letter each time, kind of thing. I think it's actually going to be better to do it this way. Now, you can, if you don't have Canva or you don't use Canva or whatever, you can definitely work with it and just do them inside Artistly. I just don't think that's a highly productive way to do it. I think you've got much more chance to work these up very quickly, make them very pretty, and get your consistency the way that you want it. Like I said, I'm having to just play with this a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. It's still taking me, as you see, merely a few minutes. I'm gonna have an entirely new alphabet, you know. And we're going to be exploring all the different designs and all the different ways that you can do this and how you can actually use the playbooks to get ideas and get different variations in ways that you probably wouldn't even imagine it giving you the opportunity to do. But see how beautiful that is? So you're going to begin to get an eye for this and an eye for when you create those letters. And like I said, you're also going to figure out how to select the proper, the different fonts you want to work with. And I know that you're going to take this base idea and you're going to be sending me all these ideas on what you've done with it, because that's the thing about videos. That's the thing about ideas. We don't have to copy each other, because when we look at an idea as a real artist, we're going to have our own ideas. It's going to spur our own creativity when we I think I did it like that. How we would use the concept, because it's kind of concepts that we're using rather than, like I said, us copying. You're going to take this and you're going to do amazing things with it. And I'm to the end now. So you see how quickly we were able to create an entirely different alphabet here. And you're going to see these. I'm going to put them in my store and everything. Take it and make your own designs. I mean, yours are going to be different, than mine are. But, I'm at the point now where I love sharing with you. I want you to be successful in your shop. It doesn't bother me if you create designs from these, just use your own prompts, come up with your own florals, create your own little looks, and be productive. Go forth and make beautiful products, and it makes me happy. Okay, so basically we're going to go back now, and I kind of showed you in the beginning how I was able to actually even get these words. So you could take them in. You could also take this, and we're going to see how we could. I did prompt the words because they're a little bit more. You can still use the decoratives and do them manually, but like for instance, what we're going to do is in this case do the same thing we did with that one, the single monogram, and we're going to go to Anna, and we're still in Stylizer, and we're going to say remove Anna. And then hopefully it will leave us with the actual floral, the little base. There we go. It actually did not remove it, so I'm not real sure. Hang on and let me go back to. Let me go a little further in with this. Or let's try the photo editor and see if that'll give us what we want. Remove the word Anna. Because you can use both of these items sort of hand in hand, but I did most of it using the human stylizer. And while I'm waiting on that, let me just grab my playbook here. I don't want it that way. Okay. I'm going to playbook out and get it ready. Don't ask me why my computer's doing that craziness. Probably because I got 150 tabs open. I'm exaggerating, of course, but I do work with a whole lot of. Okay. I bogged the photo thing down. Okay. Well, what we can do is we can go back and we can, let me find one of my original ones. Okay, this is it. So we're going to regenerate this, but this time right here where it says painted in A, I'm going to be replacing this wording right here. Just that's the only thing that is going to be replaced. But we're going to go and look for some ideas. My voice is horrible today. I'm so sorry. So we're going to go into the nature. And we're going to do botanical illustration and we're going to play with it. Now, I have not experimented with this one. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But we are going to replace this phrase. My. Okay. And then we're going to go in and we're going to do this. Okay. We're going to go ahead. I'm not going to sit here and wait. Hush. And we're going to go back in here. I'm sorry, a truck is passing outside, so she is going to be. Let's go back and see where else we want to pull something from. Let's see. Let's go to. Let's go to the Baroque flourishes. That seems like that would be an interesting one probably. So we're going to replace this one. This will give us a couple of different looks, and then I can show you how to work with them. Hopefully. Since Artistly has slowed down. And yes, it does. For anybody out there, it slows down every once in a while when they're doing some maintenance or something. And so while this is continuing to process, I'm going to pop over and show you something inside the advanced designer. So I'm going to go back out. So this is what it looks like when you go into advanced, and when you go, this is how you get there. You go into create design just like we always do. We go into the advanced AI image designer, and then I'm going to go into this project just because I was already working with it. So basically I prompted using some of the same prompts, and I was able to get this design. So I'm going to go back in, and that's very pretty. That would be a very pretty alphabet as well. Now this one, if you do it here, now see, these are very pretty. Now this one right here we could probably remove this one, and that's how you download that. You can download these in a JPEG or in a PNG. I did the PNG, but now this is very pretty. So what if we wanted to do this, and could we go in and then prompt it? Keep everything the same, but change to let's see. Now this is a different process and it does not always work, but we can see if it does. If not, we're going to pull it in and see if we can pull this imagery off. I do really like the letter itself. Now see, that worked pretty good. So see, you could create from that. So let's just see how long it would take. Change the letter to D. And now I didn't do the extra to say change it to, like whether it would be the same pattern. So let's see how much it changes it, or if it still gives us something similar. No, it changed it up because I didn't ask it to keep it the same. So you go to your media library, and then you can go right here and you can copy the prompts again. So see, I can copy this prompt and go back to the original that we had, and go back down here, paste it back in, and then actually, rather than telling it to do it, let's just change it here and see if that works and what that gives us. Doing it manually, that actually may be quicker just to change it manually rather than using the magic wand. I'm just showing you all the different ways, and then you'll know different things to try based on. Okay, so I don't know. It's somewhat similar. I don't know. It's they're a little bit bigger. I would probably use those as separate things. So I downloaded that. Let's go over and make sure it came through. Yes, I downloaded this one. I think this one right here may be a good one, a good candidate for. We're going to go back over into the advanced. Okay, so here we did get some new images changing up. This was with me changing out and using the playbook to get some different looks. Those are pretty. I love this one. This one's really pretty. Okay, so now let's go back in using the ones from the advanced. Go back to the human stylizer. we're going to be importing this one in from the other. So we're going to want to try to do two different things. Let's try to, which I don't know that it would help because I don't know what we could use that B for, but you could always isolate and just do the blitz. So we want to remove the B just so we can take it back in and we can, oh gosh, I actually hit it twice and we're going to have two. That's interesting. I didn't know that that would work there. So that's another thing that you can, yes, and it actually did them exactly the same. So this is, we're going to go in now and download that, go back over and grab our alphabet, use this brand template. See how much quicker that is. We've got our whole alphabet out, laid out. So use an hour and get you some good templates going. I mean, these base templates can save you so much time. And then we're going to take and we're going to pull in this floral and just see how we can make that look. Okay, we're going to remove the background. Okay. And then we're going to align it. That's going to be pretty. Let's get the whole thing in. Let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to adjust so that when we do adjust, we get it just right. Okay, so we need to adjust our little box where it's the whole letter is in it. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, and then we're gonna center it up. Okay, so now we have our letter inside the little gold box, and now we can take the gold box and we can take it and just adjust it now over our other letters. And oops, sorry about that. There we go. See how beautiful these can be and how quick they can come up. Now this one, you just need to adjust it, especially because of the box. Just have to adjust it so that it's inside the box pretty. So, yeah, just super easy, super fun. Oops, that wasn't what I needed to do. And like I said, all you've got to do is just kind of then adjust it to your letter. And it just still makes it so pretty. Okay, so let's go make some more really pretty ones using the playbook. Okay, so we're going to go back over here and let's do some more. What about this one? Let's download this one. And the only thing is, I don't know how we would, this right here, we asked for a B. So let's go in and see if we can get this to remove it. I don't know that it can because it was a weird looking B. So let's just go back in and try it because I'd like to get that floral element. And another thing about these elements is that you can use them for different things. Like you're doing them with the letters, but if you get a really pretty flourish of a floral, then you could use that, in invitations, like corner elements. There's a lot of, we'll play with that idea too. Okay, so remove the B. Let's just see if it does it. I'm not sure that it will. While it's doing that, I'm going to go back into the playbook and we're going to go over to the whimsical fantasy. So I'm going to do this. Now, what you're going to find is it is applying these sort of like the theme. So we're going to play with in a few minutes adjusting. Oh, it did it. It removed it. And that would be a really pretty one for us to use. I'll go ahead and download that. So this way, taking it into Canva, you're doing the heavy lifting inside Artistly, but then you're doing the repetitive actions inside Canva. So they don't have to be a lot of duplicated effort, using your templates. So then you can select what font you use and all that kind of stuff, and then just make them very pretty. Okay, so let's go in, and we kind of have to go back and find an actual one rather than there we go. So now we're going to replace this one, the dreamscapes, and we're just going to click hit. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to replace this now by going in here and, like, for instance, surrounded by we're going to put the dreamscape, and we're just going to see how this turns out. Because what we're going to try to now do is transition from florals to other elements that would maybe be included around our image. Okay. So this one I'm going to copy. I'm going to take it over into the advanced, and I'm going to that's very pretty though. So you can create in both of the designers, and see if you have two tabs open, you can actually regain, even when Artistly is running a little slow, you can regain some of your design time. Oh, that's pretty. Now that was with using the stars and elements and stuff like that. The celestial dreamscape. Now I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to have to tweak this more to get our other elements. Okay, so that's still working. Like I said, it's running a little slower this morning. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it here. I'm going to change it up. So we've got this. Okay, the letter is rendered in a classic serif font. Gentle curves and flourishes with a moon and stars. And vines intricately woven pastel hues of soft blue. And this is kind of a mixed up one, so I'm not sure what it's going to do. But we're going to take it into the advanced and see what it can do with it while these are still percolating. Okay, so I'm going to swap this out. And but you can sell the whole alphabet. You can sell it as word art. Now that is precious. And you've got your little moon. You've got the little stars. Really cute. So let's see what else we can do. Let's see if we can add some other things. Let's go back into the playbook, and then I'm going to be looking for, let's see, baby and nursery clip art. Let's we're going to put this down here, and it's going to be add a pastel animal illustration. Cute baby. Teddy bear. Okay. Have no idea if it'll add the teddy bear. And it's not like we have to, because we could go into Canva and then add a little bear or something like that. But this is real cute. Oh my gosh. Perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. So you can see how this could be so cute. We can change then our colors by going in, and let's just see soft watercolor washes. That's textures. Let's go to some colors for our nursery stuff. Let's see. Gender neutral tones. Okay. So we're going to go back in, and we're going to change, let's see, the colors to gender neutral. Okay. Gender neutral. Tones. Well, did I not copy it? Probably not. I probably just highlighted it. Okay. Now we're getting there. Okay. So we're going to generate a different one. Oh my goodness. Y'all. That is so cute. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to get these things in my store. Let's go back and see what we've got going on, and this is another little trick, another little hack. Okay, so we got some. I'm not crazy about those particular ones, but that's okay, because we're just basically trying it on for size. We're like in the shoe store trying it on for size. But now I'm really excited about the advanced and how that is, how that is looking. That is just so really cute. So what we're going to do is I'm going to export this one, and we're going to go, and that one I don't even think we could break it apart. I just think that's too cute. So I would probably try the magic wand and see if we could keep everything the same, but change the letter to a decorative C. Let's see what we come up with, because that would be such a pretty little line of. It's not necessary, because we could use it in an isolated thing, not a whole alphabet, but it is really pretty. And I could see, oh, now not exactly alike, but still right along in that same kind of effect. So let's save that. And then we can go back over here. We can take it into the Human Stylizer, and we would have to upload it. Let's upload this one. And let's just see, play with like the colors. Like, let's see. Let me go back in here and let's choose the playful candy shades, just for the heck of it, to see what changing up the colors will do. And we're going to do that in the advanced. So let's just say change the colors to, and hopefully it'll give us the same image but with in different colors, because again, that's more products for you. Oh my gosh, it did it, and it's so pretty. And see how simple that was. See how simple that was to get that totally different look. So I know your brain, you're just like freaking out, I'm sure. Okay, so now let's go even farther. And this is where your real art comes in. I'm going to go back to, I want to go over here because I want this one. Yeah, I want to use this prompt and copy it. And then bring it back over here. Oh, and then let's try this prompt in the Artistic Designer and see what we come up with. Because again, we have so many different designers. So let's see how it renders it. We can also try it over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do some adjustments. Okay, so we've got the Celestial Dreamscape. So let's try to go back in here, and then we're going to go back up here and get us another. Let's do the castles. Okay, so we're going to change it out and see if we can get one that has like castles and stuff. And we can't adjust it there. We're going to do it over here just because it's a bigger screen and I can see it better. Okay. Dreamscape. We're going to change this here. Pastel. And then surrounded by. We're going to do this one, and we're not going to add the animals. We're going to remove those. Okay. But really what we want to do is take this prompt and go over here. Okay. Whoops. What did it do? Let's see. I hit something wrong here. Okay, generate image. Okay, so this one did not put the castles, so, but it's still a very pretty one. So let's go back and see why it didn't do the castles. Okay, so surrounded by, I think I confused it. I put too many things. Let's see. So let's do the fairy tale castle and see now if that changes it. Well, it didn't put the castle, still didn't put the castle, but it is beginning to get a little bit more oriented to, so, in a fairy tale theme. And then let's take all this out. And try it again. Because I want a castle. The dreamlike is why it's, oh yes, perfect. Here we have our castle. The dreamlike is what's giving us the, when it says dreamlike, and we're going to replace that with a dreamy atmosphere. And then change it up. That's where we still get the little moon, which is actually really cute. I love the vines. They are very fairy tale-ish. Oh, that is beautiful. That is just beautiful. Let's see if we can change that one out to a different letter. Keep everything the same except the B. Change it to D. I have to hit generate. Oh, I love that. That's gold and just gorgeous. And it does have all the elements of a beautiful, beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yes, we have definitely, it doesn't have the fairy, it doesn't have the castle, but I'm loving the um so let's do the same thing. Keep everything the same except the D, replace with A. But the whole look of it, just that is a gorgeous look. It doesn't have the castle, but now if we were going to do something, we could take and put a castle right coming up through here. So see, we've lost our castle for some reason, but and this one actually kind of lost the metallics. So I think what I would do is go back to the original one with the castle, and you want to click this and copy that prompt, take it back to here, and then go back in here and let's see, keep this image, change the B to a F. You just have to play with your wording just to see what works the best, but And I don't get frustrated when things don't work out exactly because I've come up, look, I've got all these others I can work with. This right here would be gorgeous to separate. I've just been playing with these letters. I think I've probably showed you everything that you need to know. I'm just kind of having fun now. So I managed to do that again a couple of times, and we're just going to test the theory. So here's another one with the pretty gold color and the castle. So we're going to prompt it again. We're going to change our letter to a D, and then we're going to generate it. And the first time may not be exactly what we were looking for, but I'm just going to prompt it a couple of times because I noticed when I was prompting it a couple more times. Now, see, now we're beginning to catch in. So let's just test it again. Let's do an E. And these are gorgeous. I just love these letters. They are stunning. Okay, so that one didn't do it. So let's do it again and see if we get our castle back in there and our dimensional letter. Okay, not that time. Okay, we're going to go over now back into this. And, oh, that's interesting. That is under the artistic designer. That's an interesting treatment. And then this is so cute. This is the watercolor portrait with the teddy bear and the moon and the stars and all. So you can see just once you get that prompt down, look at this one. Ooh, that is weird. That moon has a very odd face on it. But now this right here, we could regenerate this a few times. And that is, which one was this one? Was the artistic designer. So, I mean, all of these things are so usable in what we do. Okay, so it's going to take it a few minutes to populate. So what we're going to do is go into here, the human stylizer. We're going to go to browse. And oops, maybe I didn't download my castle. We're going to download this castle. I really thought I did. And go back over here and upload it. There's our castle. And we want to just change the letter now to an A. Change the letter to an A. And see if it's going to be able to do that. And change out our letter for us. Okay, so it did change the letter, but it also changed the look. But this is still a very gorgeous letter. So not what we were looking for exactly, but now we're going to go in and tweak it and try to get the whole image. Okay, so keep this image the same, just change the letter to a D. Oh, it's already a D, a B. It really is all about the prompt and what kind of wording you give it. So you have to, if it doesn't work the first time, then there's something in your prompt that's not. Okay, so it actually gave us a very close resemblance to this one here. So I'm not even sure. We can test it and see if it'll give us a C. Like I said, happy accidents. we're not getting our castle, but that is actually a very pretty alphabet. So keep this image, but change the letter to C. That metallic raised look. Okay, so we finally actually got our castle in there. So let's play with it again. Let's go all the way back. Let's go to our original image here. And then let's give it a little bit more detail about what we want it to do. Please keep the design elements of this image the same. Only change the letter to A. And just see what it'll do. But again, the other letters and everything are really pretty. Okay, so now we're back to the A over here. So it still did it the same way. So let's go back. Let's do this. And we're going to give it a little bit more instruction. Keep the style and elements of this image the same, including the castle. Style them in a way that accentuates the letter A. No, let's do B instead of D. Just needs a little bit more to go on. It's having a little bit of a difficult time re-envisioning there. Okay, so we got our castle back into it. We did keep some of the elements, so I'm not terribly disappointed with that. I think that is definitely working in the right direction. I love the letters, so we could probably even take and just isolate the letter and remove the other stuff, and then we would have a pretty alphabet of those letters. So let's try that, so that we could use those pretty gold letters, because wouldn't they be pretty, the pretty gold letters, with some of our other florals. Okay, so we're going to go back to this one, and we're just going to remove the vines, castle, and floral elements, and leave the letter, or just leave the D. Because if we could isolate that and just change it into the different change it into just, there we go. Now we have the letter. So now let's see if it'll let us take this one and just change it into all of the different letters that we would need. Now, this would take a little bit of time, but would it be worth it? I think it probably would, because you could use this letter, the look of it, in so many different things. So change to an A. And this would even be really cool for junk journaling. There's our A. Let's see. We'll do a couple more. Oh, I didn't have to go there. I need to go here. And change to a C. Yeah. And then this seems to be working pretty good. The only thing is if you run into a letter that it doesn't, those are all gorgeous. Okay, so for just argument's sake, let's take it in here and let's go here in the Canva. Let's see how hard it's going to be to like remove the background, which now you could remove the background in Artistly probably because it's very simple, just the letter, but I'm just wondering if it, since it put it in that, if it's going to remove that as background or if it's going to leave it, because then we would need to prompt it before we go much farther to remove. Yeah, okay, that's what I was afraid of. So here we're going to get this image on this background. So what we're going to need to do is go in now and see if we can prompt it so that it'll remove that background as well. So we're going to go back in here and then just say remove the background. Remove the entire background, and the letter should be against a white background. I'm not sure. I may have to word that differently. Okay, it did it. So now let's go in and take it into, where is my, here? Yes. Okay, so now, so we would need to put it against a white background to hopefully be able to remove. But now these right here would be great for junk journals. So you could do those too. Remove background, and then we'll go in and test it and see if it really did remove the back. Yes, perfect. Now let's see, we'll go back in. I'm going to just copy this one, and then I'm going to go into one of our, what I'm going to do is rather than that, I'm going to copy this. We're going to go back into here, and I'm going to paste it in here. And just look how gorgeous. Now that is amazing. That will be worth the time if you can manage to prompt to get a really pretty dimensional letter like that and get your whole alphabet done. Then think about all the different florals, the different elements that you can add in. You could go in and add your own castle. You could add all kinds of stuff into this, into your letters. Okay, I have went so long on something I thought would be a really short subject, but I believe that this is going to open up so many possibilities for you guys. I mean, just I'm just really excited about these techniques, and I know that we're going to be able to use them to grow our businesses. There are just so many ways to use them to create different products like wall art, name art, invitations, bookmarks, book plates, flashcard. The list just goes on and on and on. So, thanks for watching, and be sure and check out all of my links down in the description. If you don't have Artistly already, now's the time to buy. Version 5 is just got so many different ways that you can use it. And be sure and watch my other videos for all the other things that I've discovered on how you can use it to make money. But down in the description, I have a link, my affiliate link. I really appreciate when you use that because it helps support the channel, and it makes making these videos a possibility because they are very time consuming. If they're running a code, then you can use that and incorporate it in with my affiliate code, and you should still be able to get the discount. Currently, there is one. I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but upon recording, there were using one, and it was located at the top. When you click through my link, it was located at the top. You just take that code and you have to type it in somewhere. Anyway, then my best-selling AI artist playbooks are available on Etsy and on Gumroad. If you are purchasing from the EU, you will have to use the Gumroad link. And I did put down in the description a limited time frame kind of code that you can get a discount on Gumroad. On Etsy, it's already incorporated into a sale. But if you have to buy through Gumroad, then you can use that code if it's still active. Right now it is, but I don't know when you're going to be watching this. So, and also if you want the junk journal edition of the playbook, you will have to purchase it on Gumroad. It's not available on Etsy. So, having said that, be sure and join my Facebook group. Be sure and join my weekly newsletter for extra tips and techniques and just connection with doing your digital products and doing your AI art. And we'd love to have you in the group. So, just again, thank you. I know it takes a lot of investment for you to sit down and watch any of these videos, and I do hope that when you come away with something new that you can use. So until next time, happy creating.